This conference will now be recorded.
Let me start the today's session. Just we will recap the points what we covered in the last session. We discussed some fundamentals only. If you want to communicate with a computer, if I want to communicate with another person, the way how human language is required, in the same way, if I want one job to be done by the computer, to talk to the computer or to communicate with the computer, we require some programming language. సో ఒక పర్సన్ ఇంకొక పర్సన్ తో కమ్యూనికేట్ చేయాలంటే మనం ఎలా అయితే మన హ్యూమన్ లాంగ్వేజెస్ తెలుగు ఇంగ్లీష్ తమిళ్ వాడతామో, మీరు ఏదైనా కంప్యూటర్ కి ఒక వర్క్ ఇచ్చి కంప్యూటర్ చేత ఆ వర్క్ చేయించాలంటే కంప్యూటర్ కి మీరు కొన్ని సెట్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ రాయాలి. ఈ సెట్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ రాయడానికి మీరు యూస్ చేసే లాంగ్వేజ్ ని ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ అంటారు. సో whenever if you want any job to be done by the computer, you are supposed to write some group of instructions. To write those group of instructions, what is required? Some programming language is required. These programming languages are generally two types, low level and high level. Sir, if any programming language consisting of only zeros and ones, such a type of language is called low level, and for a developer it is very bit difficult to write all the set of instructions to the computer using zeros and ones only. Usual ga low level language lo అది ఏ టైప్ ఆఫ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ అయినా కావచ్చు, లో లెవెల్ లాంగ్వేజెస్ లో మనం ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ ఏ ప్యాటర్న్ ఆఫ్ జీరోస్ లాగా రాస్తాం. 10101 00101 something like we are going to write the group of instructions using zeros and ones only. For any developer, writing the instructions completely in the form of or by using zeros and ones, it is not that much easy task. So it is a bit difficult task for any developer. Now, so into the market, so many other languages are entered. We call them as high level languages, where developer can feel very easy to write a group of instructions using any high level language. Generally developers can feel very easy when compared to the low level language. Sir, what is the reason? You may ask one doubt. The reason is, almost in every high level language we are going to use English words only. Sir, we are going to use English language only. With English language we are going to write the program in any high level language, whether it may be C or C++ or Java or Python. So if you observe any C program or C++, Java or Python program, your program you are going to write using English only. You are going to write the set of instructions using English only. So instead of writing set of instructions using zeros and ones using human language called English is somewhat better when compared to the low level language. But what is the problem? The problem is, if you write anything using English alphabets, how the computer is going to understand what type of instructions you wrote? నువ్వు కంప్యూటర్ కి ఒక జాబ్ చేయించాలనుకుంటున్నావు, కంప్యూటర్ తో ఒక జాబ్ చేయించాలని అనుకుంటున్నావు. ఈ జాబ్ చేయించాలంటే కంప్యూటర్ కి నువ్వు ఒక సెట్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ రాయాలి. నీ కన్వీనియన్స్ కోసం ఈ సెట్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ నువ్వు ఇంగ్లీష్ లో రాస్తే నీ కంప్యూటర్ కి ఎలా అర్థమవుతుంది? సో ఫర్ ఎవర్ కన్వీనియన్స్ సేక్ you wrote all the instructions using English. But the problem is, ultimately who has to run those group of instructions? My computer only. Then in that situation we require one program called translator program. Sir, translator job is to convert the code written in high level language into mission understandable code. There are two types of translators are there. One is compiler, another one is interpreter. Sir, what is the job of compiler? Suppose I have written one program in some C language. Almost some 50 lines of code I have written. I have written some 50 lines of code using English alphabets only. Total program looks like a English paragraph, but my computer can't understand what I have written. So నేను రాసిన కోడ్, నేను రాసిన ప్రోగ్రామ్ నాకే అర్థం అవుతుంది, బట్ ఎవరికి అర్థం కాదు? కంప్యూటర్కి అయితే అర్థం కాదు. సో టు కన్వర్ట్ ద కోడ్ written by you into mission understandable code, so assume I used a compiler. You know what compiler will do? First of all, compiler verifies that is your program contains any syntactical error or not. Sir, what is the syntactical error? Remember, whenever you are supposed to write any program, or when you developed any program by using any programming language, every programming language will have some set of rules and regulation which you have to follow strictly. Otherwise you are going to get some error. జనరల్ గా మనం ఇంగ్లీష్ లో పారాగ్రాఫ్ రాసినా, తెలుగులో ఒక పారాగ్రాఫ్ రాసినా, తెలుగు ఇంగ్లీష్ లాంగ్వేజ్ గ్రామటికల్ రూల్స్ ని ఫాలో అవుతూనే రాయాలి. అదర్వైజ్ యువర్ టీచర్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు పుట్ ఏ రెడ్ మార్క్ వేర్ ఎవర్ యూ డిడ్ ఏ మిస్టేక్. ఇన్ ద సేమ్ వే, ఏదైనా ఒక డెవలపర్ కావచ్చు, మీరు కావచ్చు, ఏదైనా ఒక ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ తో ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాయాలని అనుకున్నప్పుడు ఖచ్చితంగా ప్రతి ప్రోగ్రామ్ కి కొన్ని రూల్స్ అండ్ రెగ్యులేషన్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఆ రూల్స్ ని ఫాలో అవుతూనే మీరు ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాయాలి. సార్ నేను ఆ రూల్ ని ఫాలో అవ్వను అంటే కంపైలర్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు రైజ్ సమ్ ఎర్రర్. హలో బాస్, యూ డిడ్ వన్ మిస్టేక్ ఎట్ దిస్ లైన్, కెన్ యూ ప్లీజ్ రెక్టిఫై? సచ్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ ఎర్రర్స్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ సింటాక్స్ ఎర్రర్స్. నౌ బిఫోర్ కన్వర్టింగ్ యువర్ కోడ్ ఇంటూ మిషన్ అండర్స్టాండబుల్ కోడ్, compiler verifies syntactical error. Assume my program is completely free from syntactical error, then what compiler will do? It will convert total 50 lines of code at a time into mission understandable code, and that mission understandable code will be saved to a file. మీరు ఏదైతే 50 లైన్స్ ఆఫ్ కోడ్ మీకు అర్థమయ్యే లాంగ్వేజ్ లో మీ కంఫర్టబుల్ లెవెల్లో మీ కోడ్ రాశారో, ఈ కోడ్ మొత్తాన్ని కంపైలరు మిషన్ అండర్స్టాండబుల్ కోడ్ లో కన్వర్ట్ చేసి ఈ మొత్తం కోడ్ ని ఒక సపరేట్ ఫైల్ లోకి కాపీ చేసి, now it is assume handed over to the CPU. Now CPU is going to run all the instructions inside this file. Now this job is done, all the 50 lines converted totally at a time, and the converted code is saved to a file. Whereas coming to the interpreter, almost interpreter also will do the same job, but a slight difference is there. So here interpreter will take first line from your program, verifies any mistake is there in your program or not. If your program is completely free from syntax error, now this line is going to be converted into mission understandable code, and it is going to be executed. 50 lines ni ఒకేసారి కన్వర్ట్ చేయకుండా లైన్ బై లైన్ కన్వర్ట్ చేయటం, ఆ లైన్ ని ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయటం. సో ఇంటర్ప్రెటర్ ఈజ్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు కన్వర్ట్ ఆల్ 50 lines at a time. It is going to convert one after another, and after conversion that line is going to be executed by CPU immediately. So this is the basic difference between compiler and interpreter. Sir, still we didn't understand the difference between compiler and interpreter. Like if you are going to ask me one simple example, I will tell you one simple example. Observe very carefully. Assume Prime Minister came to your area for election campaign. Sir, as you all know, our honorable Prime Minister is convenient to deliver his speech in Hindi, but I am from AP, my mother tongue is Telugu. Assume as a part of election campaign, PM came to our native place. Now if he started giving his speech completely in Hindi, how the people can understand that? Are you getting my problem? సో ప్రైమ్ మినిస్టర్ అయినా నువ్వు ఇంకొక మినిస్టర్ అయినా నువ్వు ఎంత ఎక్సలెంట్ గా స్పీచ్ ఇచ్చినా నువ్వు కంప్లీట్ గా హిందీలో ఇస్తే సో మై మదర్ టంగ్ ఈస్ తెలుగు, హౌ కెన్ ఐ అండర్స్టాండ్ యూ వాట్ యు ఆర్ సేయింగ్? దెన్ they are going to appoint one person called translator, one translator. Assume it is a maximum 5 minutes speech only. Assume 5 minutes speech. Now the translator is doing, he is copying everything on paper, he is copying everything. So dialogue 1 delivered by PM, second dialogue, third dialogue, fourth dialogue, fifth dialogue. Assume 5 minutes speech is over. Now the translator is going to explaining everything in Telugu. Sir, it is nothing but compiler. It is nothing but what? Compiler. It is nothing but what? Compiler. Now what is interpreter? What is interpreter? You know, same example in a different way. Same example. Assume Prime Minister delivering the speech. Speech is at max 5 minutes only. Now Prime Minister delivered dialogue 1. Dialogue 1. Now translator asked him to stop, and this dialogue immediately converted into Telugu. Now Prime Minister delivered second dialogue. Now translator instructed the Prime Minister, can you please stop? Now the second dialogue, now the second dialogue is converted into Telugu. Now Prime Minister delivered the third dialogue and a translator converted that into Telugu. Now fourth dialogue translated into Telugu. Now can you please observe that in the previous case translator converted all dialogues at a time into Telugu, but now the translator is also doing the same job but dialogue by dialogue. It is nothing but interpreter. Now tell me everyone, now tell me with this example, do you got the fundamental difference between compiler and interpreter? Respond everyone. Got the clarity? So the languages which are going to use the compilers, the languages which are going to use the compiler, those languages are called as a compiled languages. Sir, compiled languages, compiled languages. Your C language, your C++, Java, these are all called as compiled languages. Now there are certain languages we can call them as interpreted language. Sir, as of now, as we are going to learn Python, our Python is going to be interpreted language. Our Python is going to be interpreted language. Sir, this is the part what we covered yesterday in the last session. Now we are going to talk about who discovered, who developed, who is the father of Python. Sir, before moving to the this question, I will ask you, assume in one interviewer asked like this: is Java first, is Python first? That means which one is released into the market first? Is Java na Python? What is your answer? What is your answer? I want to listen from you people. So very good. Some people are giving that, sir, no doubt Java is the first. Some of the people are answering, sir, Python is the first. That means you don't know when Java was released into the market, when Python was released into the market. That is the reason I asked this question. Assume, not assume, you know who developed this Python? The name, the person who developed this Python is Guido van Rossum. The name of the person who developed the programming language called as a Python is nothing but Guido van Rossum. Do you know what is the official date of birth? Is nothing but 20th of Feb 1991. That means Python was released into the market in the year 1991 in the month of February, exactly by 20th of February. Do you know who is the father of Java? Who developed the Java? James Gosling. Sir, James Gosling is the father of Java. And you know, the first version of the Java, the first version of the Java was released into the market 1995. Now again I am asking, is Java first or Python first? Now everyone, I want to listen from you people. Is Java first or Python first? Right. So undoubtedly Python was released into the market first. Then you may have a doubt, sir, if a Python is released into the market as a first language, all these days who kidnapped the Python? Because we don't know Python is there in the market. Very recently we came to know that when university people introduced this language in our academic curriculum, then we came to know that okay, there is some language called Python, but till now we are all familiar with Java. What happened to the Python all these days? Are you getting my point here? Nizanga Python 1991 లో రిలీజ్ అయి ఉంటే, is there anyone kidnapped the Python? What happened to the Python? ఇన్ని రోజులు పైథాన్ ఎక్కడికి పోయింది అంటే, there is some statement is there actually. Every dog has its own day. Am I correct or not? Every dog has its own day. So based on the dialogue, so Python's day actually came now. Now the Python days are running now. So Java once released into the market, because of the features in the Java, it became very, very popular and very rapidly. That is the reason people ignored the Python. Java ఎప్పుడైతే మార్కెట్ లోకి రిలీజ్ అయిందో, సో ఆ టైంలో జావాకున్న ఫీచర్స్ వల్ల మార్కెట్ లోకి జావా త్వరగా స్ప్రెడ్ అవటం వల్ల పైథాన్ ఉన్నది, పైథాన్ కు ఒక మంచి ఫీచర్స్ ఉన్నాయని జనాలు మర్చిపోయారు, దాన్ని ఇగ్నోర్ చేశారు, ఎవరు కన్సిడర్ చేయలేదు. దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ నో వన్ హ్యావ్ అన్ ఐడియా అబౌట్ పైథాన్. బట్ రీసెంట్లీ when software industry in so many projects, in so many domain, when people started using Python boom came like anything. Now trust me, for the next 10 to 15 years, for the next 10 to 15 years, the language which is going to rock the industry is nothing but Python only, but not Java. Listen this point very carefully. For the next 10 to 15 years, the only programming language which is going to rock the industry is nothing but Python. Right? Now, sir, one more point I want to cover. One more point. Sir, how this name came to the programming language called Python? We just came to know that father of Python is Guido van Rossum, and it was released into the market in the year 1991. Official date of birth is 20th February. We came to know that very clearly, but we have a confusion. How Guido van Rossum named this language as a Python? Is there any small story behind this naming the language as a Python? So a small statement, one small statement is there. So at the time of developing this programming language by Guido van Rossum, he is a big fan of one program. He's a big fan of one fun-filled program. One fun-filled program. The name of the program is Monty Python's Flying Circus. Sir, this is the very, very popular program in those days, especially in 1980s. This program was telecasted in British Broadcasting Channel. Sir, in BBC, this program was telecasted in 1980s. Monty Python's Flying Circus. Our hero Guido van Rossum is the big fan of this program, so he took the name. He was a very much big fan of this program. Maybe the reason he took the name Python, and he named his own programming language as a Python. That's it. No more other story, boss. Hope everyone understood a small introduction. Who is the father of Python? How this name Python came? So because of Monty Python's Flying Circus. Now, sir, when I deliver this line, some people may have some doubt. Sir, do you prove that is the Python is going to be the top one language? So do you have any proof? Like if you ask me, just let me open one Google Chrome. Let me open Google. Now let me type top 5 languages. Top 5 languages. Top 5 programming languages. Top 5 programming languages 2021. I'm asking the Google, hello Google, I want to know what are the top 5 programming languages. Sir, it is a site called geeksforgeeks.org. So every site, they have their own opinion. According to the opinion expressed by this site called, very famous site, geeksforgeeks.org, according to their opinion, JavaScript is going to occupy the first place. Second place is going to be Python. C++, Java is occupying the fourth place. So now we will see some other site. So Duzin.com. So there is something called Duzin.com. According to these people, the top 5 popular programming languages starts with Python only. Starts with Python only. So like if you see simplylearn.com. So these people are also saying that Python is going to be the best one. According to the Full Stack Academy, out of top 5 languages, Python is going to one among them. Now tell me, I'm asking everyone, will you accept this statement or not? Python is going to rock the industry for the next 10 to 15 years, no doubt at all, because current trend is Python. Now you may have a doubt. Sir, you are repeatedly saying for the next 10 to 15 years, Python is going to rock the industry. What is the reason? Like you may ask one doubt. So under the heading called features of Python, now today's session, I am going to cover that point also, features of Python. So first one, sir, Python is simple and easy to learn. Python is simple and easy to learn. Python programs are platform independent. Python programs are portable. Sir, Python is freeware. Freeware. Python is open source. Python is interpreted language. Python is interpreted language. Python is a dynamically typed programming language. Dynamically typed programming language. So Python is procedure oriented and object oriented. So Python is extensible. So Python is embedded, and Python is having so huge library support. So huge library support, like several features we are going to cover in the today's session. Several features we are going to cover under the heading extensive library. We can write extensive library. Now we are going to talk about the first feature of the Python programming language. Sir, what is the first one? Python is a simple and easy to learn. Now how can we create and develop a program? That part I'm going to cover. Without fundamentals, if you start teaching the program, you can't understand anything. If your concentration is only on coding, please wait for a few days. Without making every student strong in fundamentals, I never start programming or coding part. So I will take care of everything. Please don't disturb the flow. So features of the Python. So how can you prove that, sir, learning Python is simple and easy to learn? Do you have any proof to prove that learning Python is simple and easy to learn? My personal experience I will share. I started my teaching career almost in the year 2002. Almost I learned C language completely on my own, even C++ on my own, and Java also on my own. Very recently, during this Corona pandemic situation, so I started learning Python also. I learned total Python also. I never felt learning C, C++, Java is not that much easy and simple. I never felt that. But once the moment when I started learning Python, I felt that learning Python is not simple, not easy. Learning Python is dead easy for everyone, those who are having zero knowledge in the programming also. మీకు ఏ నాలెడ్జీ లేకపోయినా, మీరు మెకానికల్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ అయినా, సివిల్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ అయినా, ట్రిపుల్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ అయినా, ఫైనాన్స్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ అయినా, కంప్యూటర్ రిలేటెడ్ నాలెడ్జ్ 0% ఉన్నా, హ్యాపీలీ యూ కెన్ లెర్న్ పైథాన్. ట్రస్ట్ మీ, I can make you master in programming. No doubt, learning Python is very easy. Now, immediately, sir, with this statement, we will never accept this. Can you please prove practically, like if you ask me one simple example, I will show you. Assume this is my day one. Assume this is my day one session for C language batch. Assume this is my day one session for C language batch. Assume, sir, this is our C program, hash include stdio.h. If you are not comfortable with the C program, but don't worry. So this is our basic C program. So printf, welcome to C programming. Sir, welcome to C programming. So just let me save this file. Now, assume if I want to make every student to write first program in the C language, and if I start teaching this code on day one, immediately every student will ask me, what is this hash symbol? Why you used include? What is this kind of para brackets? What is the meaning of stdio.h? Why did you write int? Why it is in bold color? What is this mean? What is the meaning of this para bracket? Why you used a curly bracket? What is this nonsense called printf? Why you have enclosed within the double quotes? What is the meaning of semicolon? Why it is in bold color written? Why you are returning 0? Why don't you return 99? What is the meaning of semicolon? Why you have used closing bracket? Now tell me, if I make every student to print welcome to C programming on day one, if I start teaching the basic program in C like this, you are going to ask these many doubts or not? ఫస్ట్ డే మీ అందరి చేత నేను వెల్కమ్ టు సి ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ రాయించాలని ఇంటెన్షన్ తో నేను గనక ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తే, మీకు సి లాంగ్వేజ్ లో జీరో నాలెడ్జ్ ఉంటే ఇన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ మీరైతే అడుగుతారా లేదా? ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? కెన్ యూ ప్లీజ్ టెల్ మీ? యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు ఆస్క్ దీస్ మెనీ questions or not? Definitely you are going to ask, no doubt at all. Now tell me, for a faculty, is it possible, is it that much easy to make a student to write one basic program on day one? Is it that much easy for a faculty? Never. It is not at all that much easy. Now let me show you one Java program. Select the file menu, select a new file, Java. Already one structure came. Sir, one basic structure, Java basic program structure came. Now class sample program, hello world, remove the hello world, welcome to Java programming. Sir, the same question. Suppose you joined my Java session on day one. My intention is I want to make every student to write the first program. So he or she has to print this message called welcome to Java programming. If I explain this structure to everyone on day one, immediately how many questions I am going to get from the student? Sir, why it is going to be in blue color? What is the meaning of class? What is a sample program? Why you used S capital and P capital? What is this nonsense called public, static? In the previous program, before main function, you wrote int, but in the Java you wrote void. What is the difference? Sir, string why it is in red color? It is followed by This kind of square bracket empty. Why it is empty? What is the meaning of arcs? What is this nonsense called system, out, println, double quotes? Why you used a dot symbol? Like you are going to ask 1,000 doubts or not? Please respond everyone. Suppose the day one మీ చేత నేను immediate గా కోడింగ్ రాయించాలి, జావా ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాయించాలని అనుకుంటే you are going to ask these many doubts or not? Now again same question. Now tell me, is it easy for Java faculty to make a student to write one basic program on day one? Is it that much easy for any faculty? Not at all. Now tell me, learning C language or C++ Java, is it that much easy? Is it that much easy? With this explanation, immediately you can answer, no doubt, sir, it is not that much easy. Now, can I do the same job in Python easily? Assume, sir, it is Python first session. Somebody is already asked me in the chat box, sir, how to write the Python programming. Listen very carefully. Sir, in my computer, already Python software is installed. Definitely at some point, I will teach you how to install the Python software. Don't ask me until that. I will explain in detail. I'm going to explain how to install the Python software, right? Already Python is installed in my computer. How to open that? In the start menu, type 4 letters IDLG. Type 4 letters. What is that? IDLG. So once if you type IDLG, this window is going to be opened. This window is going to be opened. Sir, this window is going to be opened. So here, sir, it is something called Python shell. This environment, we can call it as a Python shell. You know what is the specialty of Python? Sir, if I want to do something, am I required to write a program for every task? నేను ఏదైనా ఒక చిన్న జాబ్ చేయాలి, ఎడిషన్ ఆఫ్ 2 numbers. I want to do subtraction of 2 numbers. In C, C++, Java, even though the task is a very, very simple task, compulsory you have to write a program. But in Python, you are not required to write any program for simple task. Happily, you can write that statement at this line. Sir, it is something called IDLG. What is the mean by IDLG? Integrated Development Learning Environment. Integrated Development Learning Environment. Sir, at this shell, you can run and execute small statements. Whether they are working properly or not, you can check that. So ఈ shell లో మీరు చిన్న పీసెస్ ఆఫ్ కోడ్ మీరు ఏదైనా వెరిఫై చేయాలని అనుకుంటే మీరు ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాయకుండా కూడా డైరెక్ట్ గా రాసి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయొచ్చు. Now observe that I want to make every student on day one to write one program. How it is possible? Very simple. Print welcome to Python programming or welcome to Python. So just that's all. So happily I'm going to get a welcome to Python. Now you may have a doubt, sir, even in this case also students are going to ask several doubts. So what several doubts they are going to ask? They will ask me, sir, what is the print? Immediately I will answer them, can you please refer your Oxford dictionary? Sir, ఇక్కడ కూడా నన్ను డౌట్స్ అడుగుతారు, ప్రింట్ అంటే ఏంటి అని. ఇమీడియట్ గా నేనేం చెప్తాను, ఆక్స్ఫర్డ్ డిక్షనరీ ఓపెన్ చేసి చూడండి, ప్రింట్ అంటే ఏంటో తెలుస్తుంది. ప్రింట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ తో we can print something to the monitor, to the console. If you want to print something to the monitor or to the console, you have to use a print. Anything if you want to print, it should be enclosed within the double quotes. Sir, is it a compulsory double quotes? Not like that. You can use a single quotes also. You can use a triple double quotes. You can use a triple double quotes, triple single quotes also. Everything is acceptable. Now our first Python program is over. Now tell me, do you feel any difficulty in understanding this line of statement? Please respond. Genuinely, please respond. Do you feel any difficulty in understanding this line of statement? Nothing. Did we created any program? Did we created any program? Did we saved this into a file? Nothing is required, because Python has given one beautiful feature. Python has given one beautiful feature. Without writing the program for every simple task, happily you can execute your code at this shell called as IDLE, Python shell. Sir, which operations I can perform? Any operation. Do you want to check addition of two number? Happily you can do, no problem. Happily you can use. Okay. Sir, why? Somebody is asking, why should we have to use the open bracket like this only? Why don't we use the pair of square bracket? Why don't we use the pair of these kind of brackets? Why don't we use the curly brackets like? So already I mentioned one point. What is the point? When you want to write any piece of code in any programming language, you have to follow syntax given by that programming language. మీరు ఏదైనా ఒక ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ లో సమ్ పీస్ ఆఫ్ కోడ్ రాయాలని అనుకున్నప్పుడు ఆ లాంగ్వేజ్ డెవలపర్ చెప్పిన కొన్ని రూల్స్ ని స్ట్రిక్ట్ గా మీరు ఫాలో అవ్వాల్సిందే. సార్ నేను ఆ రూల్ ని ఫాలో అవ్వను అంటే యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ సింటాక్స్ ఎర్రర్. లెట్ మీ షో యూ. Somebody is asking me, sir, why should I have to use? I'm going to use these kind of brackets, sir. Can you please show me like? So welcome to Python. Observe what will happen. You are going to get a syntax error, boss. Now tell me, who raised this doubt? Do you got the clarity about your doubt? Is it going to be accepted in Python? You violated the rule framed by Guido van Rossum. You just violated the rule framed by the Guido van Rossum. That is the reason you got one error called syntax error. Now at least 10, at least to some extent, will you accept my line Python learning Python is simple or not? At least 50%. Will you accept this line? Learning Python is simple or not? Now I will tell you one more example. With that example, everybody can definitely, you are going to accept 100% learning Python is very simple. What is that example? You know, I'm going to write one program, swapping of two numbers. What is the program? Swapping of two numbers. Do you know what is swapping of two numbers? Assume some x, even in our mathematics also we use some symbol. X is holding value 10, sir, y is holding 20. Suppose if the both values are exchanged, x should get 20 after swapping. After swapping, x should get 20, y should get 10. Sir, this operation is called as a swapping operation. I want to write the code for this task in C programming language. Assume, but don't ask me what I am writing. If you don't know C language, don't ask me. Just have a look once. Int x equals to 10, y equals to 20. So printf before swapping x value percentage d and y value percentage d x comma y, x comma y. Now for our convenience, I am taking one temporary variable t equals to x, x equals to y, y equals to t. Sir, this is the logic, but don't ask me what is the logic I wrote here. It will take some time. So not after, not before swapping. Here I want to print after swapping. Now just 1 minute. Please wait for 1 minute, everyone. Now, can you please confirm? Is my voice is clear? Am I audible to everyone once again? Can you please confirm? Right. Let me finish my explanation. Sir, this is the code for swapping of two numbers. Let me run and let me show you. Let me run and let me show you the output of this program. Before swapping x value 10 and y value 20. After swapping x value 20 and y value 10. Now, anyone, whether you observed or not, I don't know, remove these comment lines. Actually, how many lines of code it was actually to do the simple task? Almost 11 lines of code. Sir, 11 lines of code. If you want to do the same operation in the Java, definitely it is going to take one more extra or two more extra lines. Maybe within 12 to 30 lines of code in the Java, we can finish this job. So once again, in C language, almost 11 lines of code I wrote to exchange the two values to do some operation called swapping. If you want to perform the same job in Java, it will take 13 lines of code. Now, can I show you the code in Python? How can we do swapping with Python? In Python, how can we do? Can I show that? I will show you another way how to open Python shell. There is one more way to open Python shell. In the command prompt, open cmd command. It is going to open your DOS prompt. Here you can type py command, py command. Happily you can write your piece of code at this line also. Now observe that one more doubt I have. One more doubt. Sir, is it possible? Is it possible? X comma y comma 10 equals to 10 comma 20 comma 30. Do you have any idea? Anyone? Do you have any idea? In our C or C++ or Java, for multiple variables, can I assign the values in a single line? Is it possible? Is it possible? Do you have any idea? Anyone? Can you please respond? Is there any chance? Can we do like this? Let me check. X comma y comma t. Let me check x comma y comma t. What is happening? So it took some other wrong values. So it is impossible. Sir, it is impossible to assign values to multiple variables in a single line. It is impossible. Like even the C++ also not possible. Even in the Java also not possible. But it is possible in Python. Assume x comma y comma z equals to 11 comma 22 comma 33. If you write in Python, 11 is going to be copied to the x, 22 will be copied to the y, 33 will be copied to the z. If you have any doubt, can you please cross check? X11, y22, z33. Is the point was clear? Now the question is, sir, a comma b equals to 10 comma 20, sir. Now anyone tell me what is a value? What is a value after this line? After this line, what is a value? 10. What is b value? What is the b value? No doubt 20. Now, if you want to exchange the two values, simply a comma b equals to b comma a, story is over. Sir, the job is over. You may not believe. A value, till now a value 10, now it will become 20, boss. Till now b value 20, now it will become 10. Now tell me, swapping is over or not? Swapping is over or not? In our C, almost 11 lines of code I wrote, whereas in Java, more than 11 lines we are supposed to write. The same job without writing program also, just with 2 lines of code, we completed that job. Now tell me, what is the specialty of Python? In Python, with concise code, we can do any complex task. What is that? In Python, concise code. Concise code is the specialty. Sir, what is the concise code? ఇదే టాస్క్ సి జావాలో మీకు 11 to 13 లైన్స్ పెడితే పైథాన్ లో 2 లైన్స్ తో కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయింది. దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ కన్సైజ్, very less or small, very less code we can do. Suppose sir, in a project almost 100 lines of code you wrote, 100 lines. The same project in Python you may finish happily with a 5 to 10 lines only. 5 to 10 lines only. Practically it is possible. So that is the specialty of the concise code, sir. That is the specialty of the concise code. Now I hope everyone will accept my statement to the 100%. No doubt learning Python is a very simple and easy to learn. Now will you accept that statement or not? Now the next feature. Now one example I will take. Assume there is a bike. Bike will run on the road. We can ride the bike on the road. Sir, train will run on the railway track. So helicopter or any aeroplane will fly in the air. Ship will travel in sea water or any water. Now anyone tell me, for every vehicle this platform is dependent or independent? Bike will run on the road only, train will run on the track only, helicopter will fly in the air only. Is it a dependent or independent? Independent means what? You know, it is capable to run on the track, capable to fly in the air, capable to travel in the water also. That is independent. Now tell me, is it a dependent or independent? Sir, these are all platform dependent vehicles. Now tomorrow if I design one vehicle called XYZ vehicle, XYZ will run on the road, XYZ will run on the track, XYZ will fly in the air, XYZ will travel in the water. Now tell me, is it a platform dependent or independent? Now this XYZ vehicle dependent or independent? Independent. Now in the place of XYZ you take your Python program. Sir, in the place of XYZ you just take Python program. Assume Python program is developed in my laptop having Windows operating system. Sir, what is the platform? Windows operating system. Now one of my student asked me, sir, can you please give that project so that I can run in my computer? Now I have given the same project to my student. He copied in his system, but in his laptop he is having Unix operating system. Now tell me, is the Python program is going to run on the Unix operating system? Definitely. Sir, is it going to run on the Linux operating system? No doubt. Is it going to run on the Mac OS? Now definitely. Now tell me, from platform to platform, am I required to make any changes to the Python program? Am I required to make any changes to the Python program? Not required. Happily you can run your Python program irrespective of the platform. Now tell me, everyone got the clarity about the platform independent? Platform independent. Got the clarity, everyone? Right. That's all from end for today.